Hey, how's it going, kids? This is Dr. Callahan with week 14 Monday. So, how are you guys doing? I hope you guys had a wonderful week. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this. Go ahead and pause the video and answer the following 3 questions. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and jump right in. So, last time when I saw you guys, we did the domain and range with the lifelines. I hope you guys did an awesome job, by the way. I thought you guys did a great job in class. Today, we're going to talk about reviewing systems of equation using word problems. So go ahead and turn over to this page on week 14, Monday. This is actually going to be the last day for this packet. And then after this packet is done, you guys will get another new packet for week 15, and that'll last you until the end of the semester. So 15, 16, 17, and then 18. So 4 more weeks, you guys. So here is page 1, and here is page 2, and here is page 3. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So make sure you're on page 14, Monday. This week we only have 2 days. So you have 14, Monday, and then week 14, Tuesday. And then after that, you have 3 days for your turkeys. And then, of course, week 15, 16, 17, week 18 is the week of the final. So really, we're kind of down on the countdown. I mean, this is going to go by really fast. All right, let's go ahead and get started with the first question. So I want you guys to read this and then highlight the important information, please, so that way you know how to set this up. All right, so a merchant wants to mix tea worth of 8 pounds with tea that are worth $4 per pound to get an 80-pound mixture worth $5 per pound. So how many pounds of each type of tea should be used? Okay, so these are the highlights that I did. So take a look at your highlights and take a look at my highlights. So there are 2 different sets of equation you have to set up with. One is how many pounds of $8 tea and how many pounds of $4 teas are you going to use to get a mixture of 80 pounds, but it's going to be $5 a pound. So let's say let x equals a number of pounds of the $8 tea, and let's let y equal to whatever pounds of the $4 tea. So then when you have this, you should have the first equation of the following. $8 times x, which is a number of pounds, plus $4 times y, which is the other number of pounds, equals $5 times 80 pounds. So this is going to be your first equation. And then your second equation is just the number of pounds of the $8 tea plus the number of pounds of the $4 tea is going to be a total of 80. Okay, so this one here is specifically on money. This one here is on pounds of tea. So then once we get to this point here, you can solve this using either substitution or elimination. I think I'm going to try let's try substitution. If I were to substitute y equals, I need to move the x over. So I have y equals negative x plus 80. So that means whenever I see a y, I'm going to replace it with negative x plus 80. So I have 8x plus 4 times. And again, I'm going to substitute that with a negative x plus 80. Distribute the negative 4 into the parentheses. You get 8x minus 4x plus 320 equals 400. You want to combine the like terms, which is 4x plus 320 equals 400. And we want to subtract 320 on both sides. So 4x equals, and this will give you 180. I'm sorry, I'll just give you 80. Lastly, opposite of a times is a divide, and then x equals 20. So how many pounds? 20 pounds at the $8 tea. So remember, your total number of pounds is 80 pounds. So then if your total is 80 pounds, then what's 80 minus 20? Then it should be 60 pounds of tea at the $4 level. And this is your answer right here. All right, let's go on to the next question here. Question number 2, right there in the middle. Go ahead and read it. I want you to read it, highlight the important information, and try to set up the two different equations. Okay, so the value of two numbers, find the values of two numbers if their sum is 15 and their difference is 5. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and let x be the first number and y be the second number. You know the two numbers, their sum is 15. Remember the key word when we talked about the different ways of writing sum, differences, product, quotient. Sum means plus, so x plus y equals 15. Difference indicate minus, okay? So x minus y equals 5. And these are the two equations you should use. Once you get to this point, we can go ahead and use substitution or elimination. I think because it's set up with one positive, one negative, let's just use elimination because it'll be easier. Then what's going to happen is let's just go ahead and add them together. So x plus x equals 2x equals 15 and 5 is 20. When you divide by 2 on both sides, x equals 10. You got your first answer. If you have x, what do you need to find? Your counterpart is y. Now you know that the sum is 15, so if x is 10, what is y? Y would have to be 5, and that is your answer, 10 comma 5. And just to check, is the difference between 10 and 5 5? Yes, it is. So you know you did this correctly. All right, now let's go ahead and take a look at the first question right here, okay? I'm going to have you guys go ahead and give this one a try on your own. I'm going to help you set it up. It says sum of the two numbers is 17, so x plus y equals 17. The difference is 3. So go ahead and solve for that. Pause the video, give it a try on your own. All right, so automatically that cancels, so 2x equals 20. If I divide it by 2 on both sides, x equals 10. So then once I have x, I need to figure out what y is. Now I know that the sum is 17, so if x equals 10 and the sum is 17, then y has to be 7. And that is your answer. Third question, here we go. Take a look at that third question, go ahead and read it, and then highlight the important information. All right, so let's take a look at this. So you're going to the theater. Obviously, theaters are more costly for adults than there are kids because kids are smaller, so they get a discount. So you went to a theater and there are 202 tickets that were totally sold. Children's are $6, adults are going to cost $10. They made a profit of $1,708. So how many children's tickets were sold and how many adult tickets were sold? So let's say X equals children and Y equals adults. Okay, so then you have two different equations. The first equation you have is the number of tickets, specifically tickets. So x plus y has to equal 202 tickets sold. Second equation involves money. Now the total amount of profit you made is $1,708. So 6x plus 10y equals 1708. Now at this point, you could either do substitution or elimination. I'm going to go ahead and decide to go ahead and do elimination. I want to get rid of positive 6x and multiply everything on top by a negative 6. So then my new equations will be negative 6 times x is negative 6x, negative 6 times y is a negative 6y, negative 6 times 202 is negative 1212. Now, the negative and positive 6 automatically cancels out because your same numbers opposite sign. And then 10 minus 6 is going to give me a 4. And 1708 minus 1212 is going to give me 496. Now keep in mind that this is a 4 times y, so with the opposite of a times, it will be a divide. So then the number of Y, which are adult tickets, is going to be 124. Now you know there are a total of 202 tickets. So if 124 are adult tickets, then how many kids tickets were sold? So just take 202 minus 124, which will give you 78 children's tickets. And if you want to check your answers, make sure that the number of children's tickets plus the number of adult tickets equals 202. And in this case, it does. So I know my answer is correct. All right, you guys. Next part, I want you guys to go ahead and take a look at this. So in the spirit of Thanksgiving, I want you guys to plot these points. And when you're done plotting them, they will give you a picture of something that is going to be related to Thanksgiving. So the first point is 0, 8. So I go to 0, up 8. There's my first point. Second point is 0, 12. Start at 0 again, go all the way up to 12. And then you just connect the dots. Eventually, you're going to have something that looks like a turkey. And you can decorate it. These are some of the ones that I have. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and end the class with your exit ticket. So today, your exit ticket is what is your cup of tea? So what about today's lesson was your cup of tea that you liked? And what about today's lesson was not your cup of tea that you did not like? So take a moment, reflect on that, just on anywhere on your paper, on your guided notes. All right, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. As always, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.